Utah is home to the Mighty Five: Arches, Bryce, Zion, Canyonlands, and Capitol Reef. It wasn't until earlier this year that I checked the last one off the list. After outfitting my 5th gen 4Runner, we've been encouraged to visit places like this as often as possible. But now that that list is complete, it leaves us with the task of finding the next great destination. What if Utah was home to one more world-famous destination that I have not yet visited? It didn't take me long to realize I've never actually seen the Grand Canyon. After all, Utah is home to the northern end of this iconic landmark, one of the world's most famous natural wonders. So this Valentine's Day weekend, we're making our way to see the Grand Canyon for the very first time. And no, we're not going to the North Rim. We are visiting one of the most desolate and off-grid parts of the Grand Canyon accessible from Utah. So join us for 4 days on the trail, 3 nights of camping, and any other adventures along the way. Ava, hey, what the heck is going on here, huh? What the heck is going on here? Is it dumping rain right now? All right, so while we're here, we are getting seriously rained out, which is just awesome. We pulled into camp and there wasn't actually an awning solution. I'm really glad that we flipped the car in order to be able to hunker down like this. Gusts of winds are throwing about a liter of water off the top of the awning. Unfortunately, we had a chair go down. So there's 3 different aspects of the Grand Canyon. There is the South Rim, the North Rim, and where we're heading. So the South Rim is the most developed and popular for tourism. That's going to give you a wide panoramic view. The North Rim is the next most famous, which is Utah's side of the Grand Canyon. You'll get a pretty similar wide panoramic view. And where we're going, it's actually described as the most desolate and remote part of the Grand Canyon, which is accessible from Utah. There are even warnings on the trailhead that suggest that you should have an expansive amount of backcountry and survival experience. Are you an expert in backcountry? We're gonna do the same thing we're doing right here, out there. I think it's time for bed and we better hit the trails. Ava, come here. Sit. Oh, good shake. But I do need to sit. Good. Shake. Nice work. How'd you sleep last night? You do pretty good? You do pretty good, huh? I think you did pretty good. She loves the tent. So one thing that happens more than I would have expected overlanding is a scenario we're all no stranger to. It's where you roll into camp after dark and you haven't quite yet seen your surroundings. So you wake up and there's this aha moment at sunrise where it's like, whoa, that's where we slept. Now, we might not have rolled in after dark, but you'll notice that this is heavily wooded, right? So waking up 6 feet higher than where I'm at, this is what I saw out the window. This is what I saw when I opened the door to get out of the tent. And this is what I saw at the horizon. We're in a pretty cool spot right now. Recently, I've been eager to wake up at sunrise. At this point, I have no real clear idea of the drive time for the day, but it is expected to be the longest day of the trip. We have about 20 minutes of muddy trails to get back to the pavement, and after picking up my buddy Edgar, the plan is to tackle another 80 miles of trails to get to tonight's camp. Considering how spectacular this campsite is supposed to be, I wanted to be sure to have some daylight to take it all in. The trail description says that it's mostly mild, though word on the street is that it gets a little technical towards the end. Camp is packed up, but before leaving I wanted to share some of my firearms photography that I captured at this camp spot. Before becoming a full-time videographer in the gun industry, I seriously enjoyed off-camera flash. With the run and gun conditions of filming 3 to 4 videos a day, it's not very often that I get to slow down with photography. That often means no flash. I'm using these trips to photograph my small collection to hopefully welcome more clients in the industry, and it also has me excited to create. I'll be completely honest with you. At this point in the adventure, I wasn't too sure where the state line fell. I was caught completely by surprise that before even starting the trail, we had to cross over into Arizona.
Hey everybody.
How you doing?
Good. Had a long morning. Woke up at 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning. Why is that?
Because I couldn't make it out here last night. 5-hour drive. Brought my co-pilot.
We got Suki, first appearance on the channel. A little dark right now, but how many miles on dirt do we have? Do you know?
86-ish. So in and out, we're gonna have about 170-ish.
It'll be good.
It'll be a good day.
Be a good day on the trail. I think we should hit the road.
Perfect.
So owning a media production company has taken me a lot of places, and one of those places was Horseshoe Bend, which is a very popular touristy area in the state of Arizona. And immediately a debate broke out between some friends and I that Horseshoe Bend could technically be a part of the Grand Canyon. And unfortunately, that means that my whole concept for this video is ruined, right? If I've already been to the Grand Canyon, this isn't really as special of a moment as if we were to do it for the first time. So we looked into it a little bit. Fortunately, Horseshoe Bend is 9 miles outside of the Grand Canyon, and so we are not going to consider that a Grand Canyon, though it does resemble what we expect to look like. But yeah, it is super cool, and I'm absolutely grateful. The places that a media production company has taken me over the years, and hopefully one day it'll take me somewhere near you. If you or your business need help creating high quality YouTube content, that is what is going to keep this channel alive. It's what makes these adventures possible. So I am hoping to help tailor a media contract for you specifically, but right now what we're really pushing is a retainer long-term relationship, so we can, get a rapport with each other and have a predictable scope of work. It just tends to benefit everybody involved a little bit more. But if you need that, visit crispyvisuals.com, and we are about to hit the trail. We were able to travel at a high rate of speed. Cruising at about 55 miles per hour, the washboard started to have its way with us. We found a nice spot to let the dogs out while we air down. Unlike the rest of the group, who has fancy overlanding equipment, I have the bare necessities. And since I'm the least equipped, airing up or down typically feels like a race to me. We'll see if today I manage to keep up. How'd it go?
It's good.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
well.
You love your Morphlate?
Dude, freaking awesome, man.
Heck yeah. Edgar, I wasn't last. With my,
Yeah, what the heck?
look at my technology. This is my Morphlate, dude. This is my Morphlate. We were out here and it was a race, but I was saved by the...
It was 1918 in Mount Trumbull, a remote settlement on the Arizona Strip. A schoolhouse was constructed. More than just a place for education, it became the heart of the community. It served as a church, a dance hall, and a meeting place for the families who called this rugged land home. The settlers who built this town were Mormon pioneers from Utah. In 1916, they arrived in the upper Hurricane Valley, filing for a 640-acre land grant. Among them was the Bundy family, one of the first to settle the area. As more families moved in, The need for a central gathering place became clear, and in 1918, the Mount Trumbull Schoolhouse was built, named after the volcanic peak to the east. The post office followed in 1919 under the name Bundyville. By the 1930s, the town had grown to around 250 residents. Life here was tough. St. George, Utah, the nearest town, was 60 miles away, a long journey by wagon over rough trails. But as the decades passed, families moved on. The post office closed in 1950, and by 1966, the schoolhouse shut its doors for good. For years, it sat abandoned. Then, in 1990, restoration efforts began, bringing the schoolhouse back to life. But on July 31st, 2000, tragedy struck. Arsonists burned the building to the ground. Determined to preserve history, volunteers, the Bureau of Land Management, and descendants of the original settlers rebuilt the schoolhouse. On October 13th, 2001, it was rededicated, standing once again as a symbol of the pioneer spirit. Today, thanks to the dedication of volunteers and the BLM, the Mount Trumbull Schoolhouse remains open to visitors, keeping the story of this remote community alive.
Well, this is it, the Grand Canyon. We're just pulling up to camp, and when I got here, I said something like this to Edgar. I mean, it's just expansive. It's from left to right. A lot of the other places that you'd compare this to, what would you compare this to? Horseshoe Bend, Dead Horse, maybe that bit of Schaefer Trail Canyonlands that we went to. But that's all a little bit more confined. This is like a mile longer. Like that's a horizon. That's a vista. That's far away. And it's so grand that it still looks large from close.
What about the Little Grand Canyon?
The Little Grand Canyon. It's just, it's little. I don't know. No, the Little Grand Canyon was cool too. And that morning that we spent there was really special. Like it was all snow-kissed and very cool, but you don't realize you're looking down 600 feet right now. Like, it's really hard to get a sense of scale. Like, people always say images don't do it justice, cameras don't do it justice. I don't think my damn eyes are doing it justice. After a few minutes of being just totally awestruck of views from both right to left, it was time for Edgar to set up camp. After Edgar set up camp, it was my turn. Because at this point of the night, it started to get pretty windy. After we set up camp, we tried to use our limited resources to film a spec ad for a blanket, which was supplied to us by Matthew from our previous video on this channel. And the wind made this a little bit challenging. Kaylee and I just started the fire. Kaylee, do you think it's gonna stay going?
I hope so.
You think we did good?
I think so. Look at it.
Yeah,
it's doing good.
It's doing really good. Do you want to tell the people what we had for dinner?
Burgers and the cheese potato dumpling things.
From Costco. The mashed potato dumplings, they were super good. What was on the burger, Kaylee?
Lettuce, tomato, onion, bacon.
It's like the whole produce section out here, right? No, that was good. There were some really good burgers. The wind died down, so big ups on that. Yeah, if the wind didn't die down, we wouldn't be having a fire. So it's really nice that we're able to do this. Honestly, for a minute there, I was considering considering a different camp, you know. And if there was something within a few minutes from where we're at, I probably would have done it. But I also reflected back on our Ouray trip with Matt, and I was kind of the one pushing for Moab a little bit because we were snow, and everyone was just like, you know, talking us into how the times where you do face the bad weather are the best memories that you can create, and that definitely rings true for Ouray. And so that was on my mind out here before, you know, tearing down camp and finding an alternative. And I think we're gonna get the reward for it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Waking up for sunrise here is gonna be insane. Is that a stick in the Grand Canyon, Ava? And just like that, every good story's got to come to an end. This video was to check the box technically in terms of visiting the Grand Canyon for the very first time. And you realize the Grand Canyon, well, it's grand. It's super big. And just because I've seen this one part doesn't necessarily mean that I've seen it all. So yes, while Whitmore Point is a great place to check off the box, I still definitely have the desire to check out either the North or South Rim. But yeah, no, it's been a great time out here. I'll just kind of run down a little bit of my first thoughts. In terms of the trip, camping, 10 out of 10. It's as good as it gets. You're not going to get many spots like that. The trail, it's super good roads for a really long time, about the last mile and a half. Other channels have described it as hairy. I don't think it's that. It's just slow go and rocks. I had stock suspension, and I hit a few rocks from a bad line, but anybody could really do it. So the trail is super good for anybody who wants to get out here. The different structures like this in the schoolhouse was a really cool added element. I think I like ghost towns and buildings and where human meets nature those type of locations a little bit more than just other stuff. So these have been a real treat for me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're still with me at this point in the video, it'd be really important to subscribe. That will notify you when I post another video like this. It'll also train your YouTube algorithm to show you other channels that are similar with overlanding. And if you're watching from TV, you can actually subscribe from the TV remote, or later on your mobile device, you can go to your history and find my channel that way. So thanks again for watching. We'll go on another trip here soon.